All right, here we go. Waking up in the dream, accelerating your ascension. And absolutely exciting times here on planet Earth. And my intention today is to come on and share some things that you may find valuable as we each individually have an opportunity to choose higher vibrational timelines and where we're going to go from here. It's all up to you. Either be distracted and sucked in by the external movie, or consciously and intentionally create your reality every single day with your unlimited divine power of the heart. So I'm wearing my Waking Up in the Dream shirt today because it's what it all comes down to. One is either open-minded and willing to look at their stuff, or they're going to allow the external to dictate where they're going to go from here. So exciting times. And I'm not going to speak about anything political whatsoever, because the majority of people can't handle anything that goes against their tiny little belief system that came from the external and the media. I know there's a lot of you amazing people out there that are awake and are holding the frequency, but I'm not going to go into any of that because most people can't handle it. They come in to a situation with so many preconceived ideas of the way it has to be, and anything that challenges that triggers them. And very interesting to observe. So if anybody's interested in checking out any of the things on the Telegram channel that are researched and up to date, I'll pop a link into the chat right there. So yeah, you can check that out if you like. And yeah, so let's get into it. Basically, if people desire to move into higher timelines, they're going to have to assess and understand three things. First thing is inner healing. Got to be willing to go there. I was never taught how to do that up until I didn't even really dive into it until probably my early 30s. And most people aren't taught how to do it for a good reason, because they don't want you to heal and move beyond the lower vibrational timeline. So I'm going to talk about that. The second thing is clearly understanding what the belief system is, where it came from, and how so many people become automatic reactors if either their beliefs get challenged or an unhealed wound or trauma gets triggered through something that they see or hear or think or feel. And it's just part of the game. We knew we were going to have to go through this when we came down here, when we volunteered to come down here. And we set up things that were going to be part of our agreed upon soul contract, whether it was our parents, our grandparents, what we were going to learn, things we would go through, such as I was in private Catholic schools with angry nuns every day, and every day was Judgment Day. That was part of my agreed upon soul contract, so I could see how that religion thing was working and took people out of their power and wanted you to do what they wanted you to do. And if you didn't, you were going to be judged, and you needed to pay God in order to receive grace. And you know the story, but that was part of mine. So the belief system is comprised of information and beliefs that all came from outside of us, all of it. And yet, unless you can see how that tiny little belief system prison is put together, you're probably going to be an automatic reactor to anything that challenges your belief system or touches on an unhealed childhood wound or trauma. So the sooner that you can see what the belief system is. And I'm not saying that anybody out there doesn't see that. Hey, Roxanne, great to see you. I'm starting from a framework where if anybody comes on here or goes back and watches this from the beginning, if they would like to free themselves and start really taking back their unlimited power from the heart, that I'm laying it out just like it is in the book and the course. It's very simple. It's step by step. But one must be willing to look at their stuff. What is their stuff? Your belief system, where it came from. The truth is, all of our beliefs came from outside of ourselves, every single one. They're not even our own. And yet people cling to their beliefs because they think that's who they are, instead of being open and going, wow, I just had kind of an emotional reaction when I observed somebody else's opinion or something else I saw out there. Let me take a breath and go in, ground myself and ask, okay, there's a gift contained in every single situation, especially those that challenge us. So I ask the question, if I become triggered or I feel like something just challenged me, I don't close my mind and go, no, my beliefs are the only ones. That's called prison. The belief system is a tiny, 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 tiny prison, and they're counting on people never questioning anything. This school system of all programming, they only teach you what to think, not how to think. The media, it's owned by the dark currently. That's being dismantled right now in a big, big way. This is the greatest and most exciting time on the planet, and we chose to be here. So the reason I'm coming on and doing this is, number one, because I'm passionate about it. Number two, I'm reminding Jeff with everything I say. I place reminders everywhere during my day and in the conversations that I have with people, because otherwise, if I get too, high and mighty in my beliefs, I'll just fall. I question everything every day, compassionately and curiously. And so we must understand what this belief system is. And the truth of the matter is, our beliefs would not even fit on the head of a pin compared to what is out there in the unlimited multidimensional universe. There's other timelines that are happening right now where there's peace, there's instant healing, there's either med beds or we don't need them. There's no poison food, air, or water. There's unity, there's peace, there's kindness, there's compassion, there's expanded levels of consciousness far beyond what this tiny little mind can process right now. It's moving higher and higher and higher as our DNA gets more further activated. But we've got to walk through the steps. And those steps are kindness, compassion, being willing to question every single belief that we're holding on to. If you're not willing to do that, then look at why not. Why wouldn't you be willing to be possibly wrong? Why wouldn't you be willing to expand your knowledge and your gifts and your frequency and your ability to travel through higher vibration timelines or lower vibrational timelines if that's what you choose to do? Why would you not be willing to do that? So, to me, conscious awareness and inner healing is the only game in town. Anything else, in my humble opinion, is a distraction from that, with the exception of being out in nature, which is like the greatest teacher ever. Mother Earth is so incredibly giving. They have harmed her, and we have harmed her through lack of knowledge and, keep buying plastics and, just a lot of different things. But I go out in nature every single day with the wild jungle dogs, and we go on walks. And those doggies are some of my greatest teachers. The majority of humans think they're smarter than animals. That is a belief system that is so limiting. I just have to smile. It's like They'll get it when they get it, or they won't get it maybe this time around. It's not for me to judge. Judgment is off the radar. It's time for us to all come together in unity. And if somebody else is out there saying that the person got elected a president should be murdered and anybody that voted for him should be murdered, send them light, send them light, send them light, send them light. Anybody that's poisoning your food, air, or water, anybody that's trying to push vaccines on your children or your animals, send them light, send them light. They're hurt, they're wounded, something happened to them. Because to harm another intentionally with food, air, water, frequencies, harp, that's a sick puppy. For somebody to believe that they can harm and kill and remove 80% of the population, that's a wounded, sick person. And we're here to raise the frequency of this planet big time. And it's no mistake that we're here right now. And I'm not claiming that I'm higher and mighty than anybody else. I've just figured out what creates timelines, which is your thoughts, your words, your beliefs, your imagination, which they squash out of a child as soon as they can in the current Rockefeller school system. And then your vibration and your frequency from the heart. This is common knowledge now, although I might have needed to hear it 100 times. I don't know. Some things, if you have a belief or you have a wound, which we all have wounds that we're either clearing for ourselves, our family lineage, or the collective. There's no shame in that. The problem is avoiding those things on the inner field, because the inner field is what creates our outer timelines and realities. The 3D external is so strong that we can forget, because we have to, most of us, when we come in to this incarnation, we agreed that we would be willing to forget in order to play the game. And we knew at some point that we would remember. So big high five and hug to everybody out there and anybody that's paying attention to what I'm sharing. I'm not assuming or projecting that you don't know this. I'm inviting us to gather together now more than ever and really, really assist in the healing and the raising of the vibration of this planet, because there's a separation of timelines right now. Can I prove that? No. What I can provide evidence of is that as more and more people focus on this, as it comes into our possibilities of reality, different timelines, more people agree on that. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to merge into higher vibrational timelines where nobody is trying to kill us, poison us, harm us, enslave us. And we're choosing to heal and to hold space for others of non-judgment, kindness, and compassion, because we know that we're all connected. And if we're judging somebody else, then that means there's still a wound in here to heal. Judgment is the biggest addiction on the planet. I know, because I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be one in private Catholic schools. That was part of my soul contract, so I could wake up and see it. Otherwise, I'd still be judging everything, because I thought that's how we fix things, by pointing out every single thing that's wrong. No, that's a disease. We fix things by holding a higher frequency or by taking action that doesn't come from hatred or judgment. And we go through the proper channels to do the paperwork or whatever. Most people know the entire government system is broken and rigged. Thank God it's being exposed right now more than ever. And I know there's people that are completely losing their minds because they think or believe that somebody else is going to fix everything for them. I can guarantee you, you're going to see massive changes and massive red pills coming. They're already happening. It's just that until the news gets completely taken over, hey, Sarah, great to see you. You're going to have to see it through other channels like Rumble, BitChute, and Telegram, because they're not infiltrated yet. And so, great things are happening. Do you see it? Yeah, nature is where it's at. It's where I ground. It's where I get my ideas. It's where I ask, what is coming up for Jeff to heal or to be cleared or to excitedly put energy into and manifest for the good of all? Here's something I do every day, and it's not because I'm so great. It's because I understand frequency, okay? Every single morning, I awaken now, and I love on every cell in my body to raise my frequency. Every cell in this body has been serving me so unconditionally. I've put it through hell. Drugs, alcohol, self-hatred, self-judgment, not being good enough, shame, guilt, anger. And my body has just loved on me and loved on me and loved on me. And now I love it because as I get a little bit OLDER, even though I play with every single morning and every single day, reversing aging. Because aging, I don't know if you know this or not, aging is not built into our DNA. I'll say that again. Aging is not built into our DNA. And yes, some of our DNA got hijacked, but it's coming back online. Aging, and I truly believe this, is a product of the mind and what they tell you out there. There was only really one birth, BERTH day, and yet they have us celebrate it every year. And what do you say? What is the question that people ask? How OLD are you? I never use that word anymore. Because what you're really doing is you're programming yourself and your cells to say that I am this many years OLDER. What do you think your brain and the dream and the timelines are going to create when you keep saying that and reaffirming it? Why do they push Halloween and most of these satanic inverted holidays? They call it a holiday. It's inverted. Okay? Most of you people know this. I'm not going to harp on that stuff. What I'm talking about is questioning beliefs. And when I awaken in the morning, instead of asking, what can I get for Jeff that will make me happy? I now ask, how can I, first I say, thank you for this day. Thank you, Creator, God, Jeff, me, whatever it is, all connected. How can I serve the collective? How can I serve the collective today? Bring it to me. Anybody that might, I just start off smiling at everybody. It's not because I'm so great. It's because I know they're my mirror. I know that everybody is my mirror, even the most evil people on the planet. And if you desire to move into higher timelines, you're going to have to understand this. And I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just starting from the starting point. For people that may be new to the channel or may just need another reminder or benefit from another reminder. Need is a spell word. Even the most diabolical people on the planet are playing a role. It's very possible that the people that came in to play the role of Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates and all these other people are angels at the highest level that volunteered to come down here and play the worst roles in the movie in order to force people to wake up. Because guess what? Do you think that people would be waking up the way they are if things weren't as intense as they are? No. People would just be going along on their phones and, just watching the television and believing whatever's on Fox News and CNN and all these newspapers that have all this power that are owned by the billionaires with with the money that believe that it's okay to harm and kill us. We've got to forgive every one of them. So before I end this, which will be soon, we'll do a group blast to everybody on the planet and beyond. Yeah. I wrote a new piece of music yesterday with guitar and Tibetan bell and Native American flute called Uniting Together. That's what it's going to take. And anybody that you're judging, that's your wound. I'll say it again, because judgment's the biggest addiction on the planet. It's the biggest trap, and it's the biggest thing that the ego grabs onto because it wants to remain in its false sense of control, and it wants to project that everything is wrong out there. No, it's in here, people. It's in here. Now, you might say, if you're a thinker like I am, well, I'm not the one that's out there, harming people and children and sacrificing children and, pushing all the poison. And no, you may not be in this lifetime. However, if you're seeing it as part of your timeline, it must still have some energetic tie in your frequency, your past, your memory, whatever. I'm not projecting. I'm just saying, to the best of my knowledge, this is how it works, and this is how we move into higher frequency timelines. It's through love. It's through compassion. It's through healing. Thanks, Gina. It's not through judging. It's not through thinking, I figured it out, I'm awake and they're not. Let me touch on this for a second. Okay? People think that they're awake if they can see that the government and the school system and the medical system and science and religion has lied to them about everything. That's not awake. That's like nursery school 101. That should be freaking obvious as a billboard flashing on the side of the road by now. True awakening, or at least the next level of it, is going, okay, do I have anything to heal? Do I have anything to heal? And the fact of the matter is, a huge majority of people are not willing to admit that they have anything to heal. I don't blame them. Okay? We weren't taught how to do this. We were given all these wounds and all these traumas, and of course, we weren't taught how to do it. So we wouldn't awaken. That's why you, if you're watching this, chose to come down to the most challenging frickin' roller coaster ride ever. Why would you have chosen to do that? Because you're an unlimited divine being whose soul can never be taken from you unless you surrender it through fear or brainwashing. And even if you leave this body, even if we get nuked tomorrow, which isn't going to happen, we wake up and we go, oh my God, that was the most incredible roller coaster ride I've ever been on. Oh my God, I can't wait to go back. I'm not saying this is the way you're going to think about it, but this is definitely, why else would you have come here to be here at this time, at this particular time? Look at what's going on. This is the greatest awakening, or one of them, because I don't know history, I don't remember it, and it's all been manipulated, lied to about. Free energy's coming back. Let me bring this up, because this is part 2. Okay, let me give you part 3 real quick. Okay? Understanding the frequency and vibration of thoughts, words, and emotions in the creation of one's reality. Okay? I know anybody probably watching this is like, duh, dude, we know about frequency and vibration. Okay? I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying, do you consciously and intentionally create your ideal preferred timelines first thing every morning when you awaken while your head is still on the pillow, before those 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running that are going to run all day? I got to get up. I got to put on a pot of coffee. I got to get the kids ready for school. I got to check my email. I got to pay my, all that's going to get done. I'm talking about the majority of people do not awaken in the morning and go, okay, I'm going to love on every cell in my body. And then I'm going to consciously and intentionally call in my reality. But the way I call it in, as though it's already here now. So mine goes something like this. Thank you for this day. Thank you, every cell. Thank you, innate intelligence, for loving and serving me since I've been in the womb. Thank you for the automatic healing and processing that you do in every second of the day for me. Millions and trillions of functions that I don't even have to think about. I can't even process the magic that my body is doing for me all day long and while I'm asleep. It's mind-blowing. It's beyond what I can even comprehend. Thank you. And then I call in my reality timelines, the most incredible people, events, abundance, synchronicities, magic, miracles, healing. It's already here now. I already see it, but I call it in consciously every day, and I'm in gratitude for it. And I say, before I finish my morning reality creation and gratitude, I say, how can I serve the collective today? How can I serve the collective today? Whereas, from what I can see, the majority of people, and I don't like to label numbers or anything, but a lot of people, they wake up and they start to react immediately to the external. Whatever they see, whatever they hear, whatever they see on the news, whatever somebody says, instead of going, I'm responsible for every single thing that I pull into my reality today. And no matter what it is, I'm going to be in gratitude all day. I'm going to just keep saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if something shows up in my reality that either triggers me, puts me in a state of worry, doubt, like this whole last several months, everybody's triggered, everybody's worried, everybody's consumed. I get it. It's okay. Give yourself a lot of love. I do my best not to react to the external. I do my best to stop when I see something in the external. And I use this get out of hell free statement. Instead of judging, I've memorized this mantra. Anytime I feel a trigger coming on, anytime I feel a judgment coming on, I would write this down, take a snapshot of this image. It's great to be silly. We could really use more humor, and somebody brought that to my attention yesterday, and I agree. So thank you for that, because I love humor. I love it. It's healing, it lightens us, and it raises our vibration, as long as we're not projecting it on other people in judgment. But we can be sarcastic. So instead of judging, if you make this your new go-to automatic, isn't that interesting? Let's talk about isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Hey, Maria, great to see you. Isn't that interesting is 100% neutral. It doesn't have the sticky, sucky, low vibrational energy that, guess what? Every time we judge something or we condemn it, we're a walking, talking, vibrating magnet. We're magnetizing more of what we judge into our reality. That's why I'm so big on clearing judgment, because again, I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be one. I thought that's how we fix things. Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. That really just went into my heart. I'm really passionate about this stuff. I've been up since 5:30 a.m. It's 10:12 on Friday in Thailand, northern Thailand, here where I am. And I think about this stuff all the time. And it took a lot of time to put together all these images and upload this stuff. And what goes into, even before I go live, is a lot. And then sometimes I get ready to go live and I'm like, I'm not feeling it today. Because when I turn this thing on and I go live, I have to have something to say that is of value to people. And I can't come off like some know-it-all that's telling everybody what to do. And I intend that I never come off that way. Every single thing that I invite people to do or that I share is a message to Jeff. And I had these shirts made because there's nothing more important than us awakening and remembering that we are unlimited divine beings, but also that everyone is our mirror. We're all connected. That means even the most diabolical people that appear to be horrific, we must blast them with light and non-judgment. We cannot be holding the frequency of judgment or anger or separation if we're going to move into higher timelines. We can't be holding that within ourselves. So again, the questions are, here's the process. Is there any inner healing to be done? And if anybody has any questions around that or they'd like to share, usually people ask questions, but I also find that on my lives, a lot of times people don't want to be the one to ask the first question because they feel like, there's people watching and they could be judging, and I'm not sure if my question is good enough and all the shit that the mind thinks when it goes to put itself out there. That's why I'm coming on here and doing this stuff. I mean, I'm basically naked. I'm willing to look at my stuff. I'm willing to be called out. I know who I am. I know what I do every day. I know that I'm willing to look at my stuff. I have conversations with people around the world where I share and bear my soul. There's a couple people that are the cleanest, purest mirrors that love me. And I know that I can show up and I can say, this is what's coming up for me, or I got triggered today, or I feel like I'm still not good enough, or, and unless we're willing to get naked and put this stuff out there, it's not going to get cleared. So, okay, great. Tracy's here. I love you, Tracy. Okay, so let's look at this question first of all, this first part. Type in your question, but check this out. I have a question that I'm battling with at the moment. And I love you, Tracy, and thank you for showing up. You rock. This is for everybody. I'm not judging Tracy at all. But let's look at the way this was presented, how the ego views this. I'm battling something at the moment. Yeah, I get it. And thank you for bringing this up because this is super key. We must be able to see the program. Bingo, you rock. We must be able to see a program or a wound in order to dismantle it. We must be able to see it. Otherwise, the ego is going to cover it up. It's going to have an excuse. It's going to have a reason, or it's just not going to want to look at it. Because a lot of times when things happen to us, when we are children, we can't process that stuff. We have to shut down. And I know I did this when my dad died in a plane crash when I was 7. I know I closed down. I'm like, what happened to my hero? I'm the only kid in school without a dad. I'm fucking lost. And I'm scared. And nothing that anybody says to me can make me feel safe. I can still feel it. Little pieces of it. Because I used to sit in the back of our Ford Fairlane station wagon when we went to my grandmother's, who was my dad's mom, my grandma. And I knew that if I went inside her house, that she was going to try and tell me that everything was okay. And everything wasn't okay. And so I would sit in the back of the car when my mom pulled up, and I would not go inside. And I get this stuff. Okay, so let's get to Tracy's question. How do you find the programs running in the background that we do not notice? Wonderful, wonderful question. I don't know if you've gone through this process, and I'm not trying to sell you a book, but in this process, the book comes with this tracking sheet, and the online course comes with a tracking sheet, and anybody that does a personal mentorship with me comes with a private tracking sheet. So, number one, how do you notice a program or a wound so you can dismantle it? First off, it doesn't come from love, joy, excitement, compassion, or gratitude. So there's a frequency to it that feels the opposite of love, joy, compassion, kindness, or gratitude. You can feel it. You can feel it. One of the things that I ask people that I journey with on the very first call, because we get into it, man. We're uncovering things on the very first call. It's not like it's going to take weeks or months. You use this tracking sheet and you begin to ask yourself the questions and you keep track of your triggers, your judgments. You stop and you go through the process and you ask, okay, I just had a fear. I just had a thought that doesn't feel good. I just had a trigger. I just judged somebody. I'm angry. I just had a thought of Jeff not being good enough or fear. You stop immediately. And you ask the question in the process. I'll tell you what it is right now. What is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? So, Sarah, hey. Oh, Tracy didn't ask her question. I thought Sarah's question. I got to read this stuff really quick and it's on the right side of my screen. So this is Sarah's question. Okay. Hey, Sarah. So thank you. I just caught that. Okay. I have to do my best to stay focused. So Tracy, if you have a question, pop it in. We'll get to it. But so Sarah and anybody else, you learn and you practice to feel and catch a trigger, a judgment, a fear, a doubt, a less than thought. Most people, when they feel that, they do anything they can to escape it. I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna eat something, I'm gonna go, distract myself on my phone or whatever. Nothing wrong with the phone or the computer. I'm on them a lot. But yes, they can become addictive. And also, they're projecting blue screen, which is not great for us. And they're doing that on purpose. So right now, if that triggers you, because they are fuckers, no doubt about it, let's blast them with light. Blast them with light. Blast them with light. And we're going to do that again at the end. And I'll share the new song that I wrote, instrumental. Okay, so does that make sense, Sarah? Do you have a follow-up question? So on this sheet, okay, there's Tracy's. On this sheet, there's a place to write in, and this is so simple that even young teenagers can do it. Because I've had people go through the course and they have teenagers, and so they have the teenager go through it with them. And the teenagers actually have more fun going through this process. And if you make it fun and you're just curious and playful, you'll move through things and dismantle wounds and old beliefs so quick. But if you make it hard and and you're resisting, like battling, then you're in resistance. Okay? So this asks you, how many times did you catch yourself today? And you write it in as a number. Did you powerfully and intentionally create your reality first thing as soon as you woke up? And I have people do all kinds of simple things such as daily mirror gazing. Self-love is the one thing that all of my clients are most resistant to. Looking in the mirror and going, I love you, Jeff. I love you. I love you. And in the beginning, it was really difficult for me because as soon as I said that, my ego would go, you're just saying that. You've made so many mistakes. You're an idiot. You've hurt yourself. You've hurt others. You've been mean. You've been angry. You've drank alcohol. You've taken drugs. You've lashed out at people. Yet I'm like, yeah, but I love you. I love you. I love you. Those were all part of my agreed upon soul contract. Everything that's happened to us was part of our agreed upon soul contract before we came here. And that may be a huge trigger when people hear that. Because when I first heard that, I was like, there is no way that I would have chosen all this amount of pain and suffering when I came here. But I just forgot. Now I'm like, that's my get out of hell free card. That's like, okay, I chose this. I chose my father dying. I chose to have two stepfathers that were intense. I chose to be placed in private Catholic schools with angry nuns where everything was inverted, but most people can't see it. I chose to be an altar boy in church. Luckily, nothing happened to me sexually, but I know people that it did happen to. That was also, I could see the programs running. So when you have a trigger or something that challenges you, or you have a judgment, if you have the authenticity and have developed the awareness, and you're committed to going, I'm willing to heal, because I know that's the only way out, you'll stop anytime that happens and you'll go through the process. And there's no more simple process that I've ever found than the one in the book, because I bought all these books on manifestation and healing, and there was some great stuff in them. But a few months down the line, nothing had changed for me. Why? Because they didn't tell me how to go in and find the subconscious belief or the wound. I'm not saying no book out there doesn't tell you how to do it, but I read all the New York Times bestsellers, or a lot of them, and it didn't work for me. So I never planned on writing a book. This book is the result of my notes to self that I would wake up at 2, 3 in the morning for and go, I've got to write that down to remember that. I must remember that. I must put that in to my healing and expanding my consciousness process. Because I used to go, oh, I'll write that down when I wake up. And then when I woke up, I would forget it most of the time. So this book was notes to self. And look at it. The type isn't even that big. You could read this book in a day, but that's not the goal. The goal is to have a system that'll remind you every single day. It's so simple, even a child can do it. You know, what realizations or reoccurring judgments, triggers, or emotions or memories came up today? When you start to shine the light on this stuff by doing this, it takes 5 or 10 minutes a day at the end of your day. Or you could spend an hour journaling. The people that are willing to shine the light on the inside are the people that wake up faster. That's all there is to it. It's an inner journey. So I intend that helped you. Sarah. Triggers, yeah. So we must make a commitment that every time we have a trigger, we're going to stop and go through the process and accept 100% responsibility for it and ask. The get out of hell question is, what is this attempting to show me or teach me about me? People that aren't awake blame everything out there. You can see it going on more than ever right now. It's massive and it's great. Yes, it's painful and it's intense, but this stuff is being brought into the light right now. So I intend that helps you, Sarah, greatly. And for anybody that's interested, you can go grab the book. It's 50% off right now through Sunday. And then I've got my YouTube channel, and I'll post the link in here where I go over this stuff over and over and over and over. So, you know, I paid a lot of money. I spent over $100,000 to study with people in San Diego, LA, Las Vegas, Sedona. And, you know, you don't have to. But you do have to invest and be willing to look at your stuff. And there's plenty of people that'll support you. And I do sessions. I prefer to do 30 days or 90 days with somebody because we do a call every week, which is recorded. So you can go back and look at your reaction while I'm mirroring and we're holding space, and we might be shedding tears or moving some anger, but you're seeing the program because I can see them, because I do this every day with people. And it's very gentle. It's very loving. Yeah, we might shed some tears. That's healing. But, you know, I prefer to do 30 or 90 days with somebody, because not only do we do a weekly call that's recorded that you can watch back, but you have access to message me in Messenger every single day. And I will send you an audio message. And I prefer that you send an audio message instead of text, so I can hear your frequency and tune into it. And we move through stuff like frickin' quick. And I love it, because this is part of my passion for being here, that and working with animals and doing music. So, no, I'm getting to your question right now, Tracy. Okay, let's see what we got. I'm wobbly at the moment. Okay, cool. I love honesty. Our honesty and vulnerability is our greatest strength. And you're either hanging out with people that go, okay, hey, let's hold some space and let's have a conversation about this, or you're hanging out with people that are judging you, and those aren't the people to hang out with. And you will attract. Let me tell you, I'm living in Thailand. I've been here for 8 years. I love it. I'm from California, but I hardly speak any Thai still. And yet, I'm connected with the most incredible people all over the planet because of this technology. So if people say there's, I get people that reach out every week and they go, I don't have anybody to talk to. My family's asleep. They're all in denial. They're all automatic reactors. There's nobody in my neighborhood that's awake. I get it. But here's the good news. You are strategically placed where you're placed around the planet right now to hold that frequency. And now we have the internet where you can connect with people. There's amazing groups everywhere, or you can reach out to me or somebody else. So I'm wobbly at the moment. Feels like a double-edged sword. Be of service and do something, or just be and sit back and just hold the light. Ego wants to do. Okay, I get this. This is great. You're totally seeing the two sides and the two choices, and there may be many more, but I get it. This is a really great share, so thank you. Okay? So let's look at this. I don't necessarily have the answer, but I'm pretty decent at dissecting things from an observation point outside of, what the ego usually feels. And so the ego feels wobbly. That's cool. It's great that you can see that. Double-edged sword, yeah. Doing something. Okay. Here's my take on it. And I know nothing. That's one of my favorite mantras. Next to, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting will change your reality. And I know nothing. It doesn't mean I don't know anything. I know that love is the highest frequency. And I also know that we are unlimited divine beings. Keyword, unlimited. I would write that down in capital letters and I'd paste it on your bathroom mirror. I'd paste it everywhere until you begin to really start to operate from that level of expanded mindset. And you may be already, so high five. But the majority of people aren't. The majority of people are trapped in a tiny belief system prison, and they'll defend it to their death until they don't. Okay, so Tracy, dear Tracy, if you do nothing else but simply hold the frequency of love, kindness, compassion, and gratitude, you will be doing more than enough, because you're already more than enough. The cool thing is, it's built into our soul contract that not only do we desire to do that, but we desire to do even more than that while we're here. So take care of yourself first. And then, like I do, I wake up every morning and I go, how can I serve the collective? I already know that I'm looking at Jeff's stuff and whatever comes up. And I have the tools to go in deeper and look at when it comes up. When I'm talking to one of the most incredible women on the planet and something pops up and goes, oh my God, I still feel inadequate, or I still feel like I'm not quite good enough. I have the tools to go in and look at that. And I even share that with my friend, and she'll mirror me because she's so clean and non-judgmental. And she's like, I love that you are a man that is willing to share his fears and insecurities. Women love that. And I can also stand in my power too. But this is the time to heal ourselves and the planet. So getting back to you and anybody else that resonates with this, just holding the frequency of non-judgment, love, kindness, compassion, and gratitude is golden. However, if there's something else you would like to be of support in doing, because you're freaking smart. I see you out there sharing posts and what you share, and you're willing to look at the deeper stuff. So there's people that look up to you, and they may be in your immediate area, or they may be on the internet. You could create a private group, or you could go in and share things in a group. Whatever it is, you're already enough. And this is a message for Jeff too, because, you know, when my dad died, my uncle, who was his brother, was really quite tough on me. It's 10:33. And I never felt good enough, and he really hammered me. And I love him. I love you, Uncle Fred. He's no longer here, but that was part of my soul contract. And I'm still undoing little tiny pieces of that today. But it's okay because I have the tools. So thank you, Tracy. If you have any questions, my door is open, okay? Anybody else with a question? Yeah. We have to be willing to gently call ourselves out. We have to, and lovingly do it. So this is a key, you know? This is really key. Number one, inner healing. I can't draw anything around that right now, but this is key. And it's clearly understanding that your belief system isn't who you are. It's a prison. And then consciously and intentionally creating your reality first thing every morning and throughout the day. I have the people that go through the course. They actually set 12 alarms on their phone, and those alarms go off every hour. And if they have to work a job or whatever, they put it on vibrate. But when they come back to their phone, there's a message that says, where are you right now? Are you in the future? Are you in the past? Are you in gratitude? Are you constantly and intentionally being aware of where your thoughts are? You start to do this for 30 or 90 days, your entire reality is going to change. I'm telling you. It's just the way it is. There's no way it can't. So anybody have any questions before I wrap and we blast the entire planet with love? There's still time. If you have a question, but you haven't written it yet, just type a smiley face in the comments or something so I'll know that you're formulating a question. And thank you for everybody that showed up here, that's holding space, that showed up at this exciting time on the planet. And if you feel like anybody would benefit from this transmission, please feel free to share it in any groups or with your friends or whatever. And if anybody's interested in doing some journeying with me, I offer a free 30-minute call to anybody. And it's not a sales call. It's a how can I help you call. Because here's what I've learned. If you're not 100% in desiring to do it, then it's going to be like me pulling somebody uphill and it's no fun. And so, you know, you'll get something out of the call whether you decide to come and do journeying anyway. I will mirror you. I will uplift you. And in that 30 minutes, we can talk about anything that you desire to talk about. And then I'll explain to you what I do with people. And I've explained a lot of it on this call of what we go through and the different options. So if anybody's, interested in that, great. Since there's no questions, I guess we'll wrap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this song that I created a couple of days ago called Uniting Together. And, it's interesting. It's 1 minute and 44 seconds. I just noticed that right now. I love it. Okay, great. Okay, cool. I'll check that out when I get done. Okay, big love to you. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to play this track. And anybody that wants to or desires to, either right now or on the replay, it doesn't matter. It's still super, it's going out into the field. what we're going to do is we're just going to envision, we're going to thank everyone for perfectly playing their roles. I'm inviting everybody to thank everyone. That includes Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, and anybody else that you think is a bad person. The pharmaceutical companies, we're going to blast them. We're going to blast the Rockefellers. We're going to blast anybody that's operating HARP warfare. We're going to blast anybody that's angry. We're going to blast anybody that needs healing. We're going to blast them with love, light, and forgiveness. All right? You guys ready? Here we go. See your light and your loving thoughts going out to the entire planet and just engulfing it in a big ball of white golden light or purple violet flame. You know it's happening right now. It's time to celebrate. Loving on the earth, the Native Americans, our brothers and sisters. Complete forgiveness of anyone you feel ever did anything to you. Thank you guys for being on this call and participating. I really feel like we did something good. I'm sending big, 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 big love. If anybody, whoops, I have it on repeat. I love it. If anybody has any questions or is interested in getting on a call, discovery call, send me a private message or go to the website, portal2awakening.com. I'll type it in here. There's a link, transform. I almost spelled it wrong. Okay. And there's just a really short questionnaire. It's super simple. It's what would you like to discuss? What's coming up for you? And yeah, I'll be happy to do it. So big, big love to everybody. What an exciting time. We are rocking it. And nothing can stop the awakening that's coming and happening, and it's already here. So I intend that whatever I've shared about consciously and intentionally creating your reality first thing and throughout the day, inner healing, looking at your stuff, asking, what is this trying to show me about me or teach me? Isn't that interesting? Mantra, I know nothing, and just blasting everybody with kindness and compassion and love and light. Be a leader. Be the leader that you are without an ego. And I know that you guys are. You're all beautiful. So thank you for being here. And again, if you feel like this resonated and anybody else would benefit, share it in your groups or, share my information with people if you feel they would benefit. So big, big love from Thailand. I can hear at the market now. They're playing a Thai flute. They don't do it all the time, but I can hear it outside on my porch. How cool. I love it. I love the synchronicities, and they're just going to keep happening and happening and happening. You could call it magic or miracles, but it's really you. You are the magic, and you are the miracle. You're all of this. You're freaking magnificent beyond anything you can even process with your brain right now. But we're expanding together and uniting together. So thank you so much. Big, big love from Thailand. I'm off to go see the wild jungle doggies and be in nature and catch up next time. Big, big love.